Well, the significant issue here in Birmingham, as indeed elsewhere, was health inequalities within the city. So 80% of the population were inactive. 1 in 4 children were obese by the age of 11. And the inactivity and the health inequalities were all related to poverty. So that resulted in a 9-year difference in life expectancy between those living in the most affluent areas as against those living in the poorest areas in the city. And clearly these were issues we had to do something about.
I get them to move. I get them to realize the small changes can have that can make a difference to them. It's not just Tai Chi, there's other things that people will see people do. And they'll kind of think that, oh no, I can't do that because this, that, the other. But as we are all human beings who are more or less built the same, and therefore we all have the same potentialities and potentials, well, that means that anybody can do anything. It's just being able to realize that they can do anything. And it's usually just a case of allowing themselves to be able to realize that's a possibility for themselves.
My son, with his additional needs, he found it difficult to integrate with other children. And I knew that feeling from when I didn't feel very good or confident or didn't have anybody to interact with or talk to. So I decided that if he was feeling lonely or isolated, then there would be probably a lot of other people. So I just wanted to bring everybody together so that he would have friends to play with, to talk to, and that I would have parents, grandparents, other people in the community to interact with, because it's just me. When you're thinking in the wider community, there could be more people that are feeling that way and in the same position, but we don't know because everybody's just segregated. So it's about bringing people together to break down those barriers and try and get people out more so they're not feeling like I felt, like my son was feeling. It's the mental well-being as well as the physical. So coming out and engaging in activities, going on trips, doing workshops, it's all part of the health and well-being of the community.
My mum was diagnosed with a heart condition. My father died of heart attack. And when she went to the doctor said, oh, you need to go and exercise. And I remember being with my mum saying, where, doctor, where? And he couldn't actually refer me to anywhere, and that's when I thought, we need to do something about this. So now what we have is an opportunity to give women a chance to take part in something that is fun, but it develops into changing their health, it develops into them developing confidence. And when I see some women who barely walked to run half marathons, when I've seen women who couldn't ride a bike after 6 lessons but now are leading 10 and 15-mile rides, when I see women who didn't want to go near the water because of the way they wanted to cover but now swimming lengths down their local swimming pool, I feel really happy. I feel like I've given opportunity to women like my mom to do something about their life, their health, and it leads them to be more confident. They start to volunteer, they start to look at themselves and think, actually, my children have grown up, I need to find a job, I need to find something I can do. So they become valued members of their society, they start to give back. So it's not just about getting them fitness, getting them an opportunity to get fit and healthy. It's about giving them an opportunity to start with that, but then lead on to so much more. But we need to we can either ignore women not taking part and then talk about this in another 10 years' time, or we can start putting those building blocks in for people to be able to step up at their confidence level, how they feel confident to then develop and grow. So that whenever you've got a problem, when you go and speak to the instructor, you're able to hear, I used to be like you, or I used to think like that, but I don't anymore, and this is what I've done. And that's what I think I really want to get across.
I've come into cycling through not liking public transport. So I used to study at Cadbury College, and from where I live it's about 10 miles. And when I was on the train I saw that alongside is a canal pass. So I thought, yeah, I've seen people running on their cycle and I've got a bike at home, why can't I do it? Since then I've realised that I'm capable of doing this. But then I didn't see many people like myself like with a hijab and, you know, covered on a bike. So I was like, you know, I'd like to get more people involved in this. And then I managed to start volunteering with her, you know, getting involved with that, and then just being able to like pass on my passion to other ladies, you know, it just made me really happy that, you know, other ladies also have the same passion or the same love for cycling, and that's what made me like come into it and share my, you know, share my passion really.
See, that for us, for Woodville Road, it's about getting to know the neighbours really, and so the idea was just to close the street and get the kids to play, but then also it's for the adults on the street, even without children, to come and have a cup of tea and get to know each other. So in the last 2 years as a street we've got to know each other a lot better, and also the kids know each other from the school, but then also they get to know people who aren't in their class or who don't attend that school. So yeah, it's definitely brought us closer together.
Ever since I've got the bike, my mum's picked that bike up, my dad cycles to work, he's gave me his old bike, so now we've got all three of us cycling. We're a lot more healthy. It's benefited my whole family, to be honest.
We believe we live in an area with real potential. We've seen it, and we're already making a difference in some of the poorest and most deprived areas. For us, it has to be about removing barriers that have been getting in the way for a long time. We'll do it by working with each other, people in communities and local authorities, exploring and trying out new ideas to see what really makes a difference and gets rid of those barriers forever. This is work we've already started, and by trying out new processes together, we are confident we can make a real difference. So come and join us on the journey. Make a difference. Change the way that things are done here in the city, in our city.
When you realise that your reality isn't fixed, that when you can think in a different way, then your reality will shift. And that reality can shift to being big, or that reality can shift to being small. In this instance, preferably want reality to expand.